Hello everyone and welcome back to GamerGuild TV for a fantastic watch along to this year's, maybe the only, Developer Direct straight from Xbox. You're joining myself, Chris, alongside my man of many pixels, Mr. Richie, this Thursday night. How are you doing? Are you hyped?
I am actually. I think this could be great. There's definitely some good games and potentially on show tonight.
There is. We broke them down on this week's podcast, the GamerGuild Podcast, of course, every Monday right here on the channel and also available on podcast platforms up there in the digital clouds. You can tune in to the GamerGuild Podcast where we get together and round up all the news from said Developer Direct and also elsewhere in the world of PlayStation, Nintendo, and all of the other gaming outlets that there are. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell so you're kept in the loop with all of our great content here on the channel. But as I said, Richie, we're here for the January 18th Xbox Developer Direct. Before it arrives, before we get fully into it, we've got about 8 minutes before it launches. Expecting any sneaky things sneaking in there at the last minute?
I think we're going to see some Hellblade 2, some Indiana Jones, some Our History Untold, and
just listing
some
the blog
Avowed.
post now.
I am.
So nothing sneaky then.
I've seen a few people on Twitter asking for Diddy Kong Racing, but I'm not convinced.
No, maybe a bit of a stretch.
I think there's some weird, probably awkward licensing between Xbox and Nintendo and Rare going on there.
Is it
that would make
licensing?
it just difficult.
Or is it just straight up ownership?
Well, I don't know who owns the characters and who owns what part of the IP.
Well, speaking of sneaking characters, we've got a couple of characters who've snuck into the chat tonight. I can see there's plenty of folks who have tuned in to watch along with this show. We are expecting it to run for probably just short of 1 hour. I can see Jin dropping some hypes in the chat. Hjorvar's there as well. Who've we got? Kumnar, Doc Holiday's there, and Lawrence van der Star as well, joining us along with many other folks for this thing. Last minute, Derek's there as well. Hello, Derek. Hope you're good. Any last minute Activision Blizzard? I know I'm playing the trailer for ABK now when they joined Xbox. So I'm like, is there a stealth tease of like, you know what? Have all the Crash and Spyro games. Or you know what? Have the back catalogue of Call of Duty. I feel like Xbox are quite good at that one more thing.
They are, to be honest, but if it's going to be roughly an hour at 15 minutes per game, and because it's a developer direct and not just a trailer, you're going to be talking to the developers about the game stuff. So that feels like a decent cadence, to be honest. So I don't know, because that could be like 2 minutes per, like a 2 minute trailer plus maybe 10 minutes with each developer.
Mm-hmm.
There's your basic cadence. So there might be something. I wouldn't expect anything big from ABK because, well, Phil Spencer has kind of just been saying consistently, don't expect anything big changes from ABK anytime soon.
But they've lied to us before, Richie. They've lied.
They have,
face
but
face.
But it's still the ABK stuff. While it's happened, is still in the courts a bit. So it's not. There's still some challenges. So until that's all fully settled and gone away, I don't think they're going to rock the boat at all.
That's true. Chat, what do you think? Any expectations tonight beyond the 4 games we know about? As Richie said, we know about Indiana Jones. Really excited to see that one. We know about Avowed. Looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table with Avowed. Hellblade, they better be bringing a damn date. And Ara Untold, we know Rob was excited about it the weekend. Slightly different. Coming to PC only to begin with. There's no console version confirmed yet. I'm sure it might come along, but later on. But yeah, chat, what are you expecting? Are we expecting some updates to maybe some other games? I know there's a rumoured Fallout remake. Fallout 4 remake or Fallout remake? I think it's both possibly on the table, but
I wouldn't have, if you're going to make a remake of Fallout, I wouldn't have thought 4. I would have thought 3 on New Vegas.
Sorry, it's Fallout 4 next gen update.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was supposed to come out before Christmas, I think, and then we've not heard anything from it since. So possibly, if you're going to drop something, how about a Series X version of Fallout 4?
Yeah, something like that could be there.
Something like less serious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fairly small because it's a game it's a pretty solid game. I don't think it looks overly dated if you go back and play it now. So for people, it's like a kind of nice to have rather than this is like
an easy
stop the presses. Yeah,
easy win. Reaver the Beaver's in the chat as well, or Mr. Reaver the Beaver, I should say, joining us as well. So yeah, 5 minutes to go. Do we think we get? It's kind of a weird developer direct. We said on the podcast this week that because this is the second one, they are at risk of setting a false cadence. So if they did a stealth drop like they did last year with Hi-Fi Rush, there is that risk of every year people are going to expect a stealth drop. So I feel like it almost behooves them to do it again this year. They're probably better taking a year off of a stealth drop and then maybe bring it back next year. And then we're always on like tender hooks of like, are they going to? Are they not going to? Like, who knows? And
thing
obviously
is,
keeping it under wraps is hard as well, like keeping it so quiet that nobody expects it.
Yeah, the thing is, I think with the 4 games it's definitely showing, that's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Hellblade 2 is one of my most anticipated games for the year. I actually do like the kind of grand strategy 4X game, so our History Untold has already got my attention there, especially because the Game Pass. Indiana Jones, I think we're both like, we want to see, it's time to see what that game is, so we're excited there. Hopefully it's third person. And then Avowed still needs to sell. I still need to be sold on Avowed. But again, this is one of them though, because it's Game Pass. I'm probably going to give it a try anyway.
Yeah. I'm
not sure when. I'm not sure when because I've got Plague Tale to play and then Final Fantasy and Persona 3 Reload. So, but I'll probably jump into at least an hour or something at some point, just as a taster when it comes out, just so I'm not talking shit about it on the podcast without any reference.
Of course, yeah. It's interesting. I'm looking at the live chat for the Developer Direct, seeing if I know I said about any suggestions.
Skyrim Ultra Legendary Edition.
Some of it's fantastic. People who were saying like Spider-Man 2 is another one. Indiana Jones on before GTA
Spider-Man
6
was once made by Activision.
The Last of Us Part 3. Gears 6 by Sega. There's apparently some of them. Apex Legends 3, interesting, considering we haven't had the sequel yet. Hjorvar in the chat says, you are sleeping on Avowed, the game he's most anticipating. Interesting. Well, that's it. It's we said we spoke at length on the podcast, but yeah, Avowed, I'm wanting them to do something. And again, they've got a great track record, Obsidian, so it's not like they can't make them.
I just need a reason to play it over Skyrim.
It's new.
And because I haven't played Skyrim in years, I could quite happily jump back in Skyrim and get my fix to that style of game. So I need to know. It hasn't. I think it looks good. It just hasn't shown me anything that makes me go, I want to play that. It's like, I think 10 years ago I'd be like, give me this game now. But my tastes in gaming have changed in that time. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really want to be wrong. Anytime I talk shit about a game, I hope I'm wrong.
Minecraft 3. The live chat's just wild. Yeah. Derek in the chat says, is Alan Wake 1 Platinum just popped as he watches this? Ready for the Xbox event now. Nice. Derek, are you moving straight on to Alan Wake 2? That's what I did. And boy, you're in for a treat if that's the running order in which you're doing things.
I finally got my Platinum in Final Fantasy, actually.
Hey,
16.
Congratulations.
Yeah. My intent was to go back and get my Platinum in Final Fantasy 7. That I didn't get because I went on holiday last summer, and then but because I got it I had it on PlayStation Plus Premium, I can't play it. I do have a disc version, but I've got nowhere near the same number of trophies, so it's like, bugger.
What to do?
Yeah, and I don't fancy playing through the whole game. I think I only had like 2 trophies to get, so I was like, I'm gonna let that sit for now.
Well, I've got The Last of Us remastered tomorrow. I'm gonna check out No Return at some point, and I've almost platinum Sea of Stars. Almost.
I think I'm going to be power through Plague Tale.
Here we go.
Because it's fairly short, isn't it, Plague Tale in this Requiem?
Yeah, about 8-10 hours, I reckon.
Yeah, so that's a nice fills the gap.
Here we go. 8 o'clock. Video should be going live. 8 p.m. 6 MT. Looking at the official thing there. Here we go. All the chances it's going to have a countdown, like a 2-minute timer as well.
Oh, the horrible music.
Here it comes. I heard it through your headphones.
Yeah. I knew it was because you can't, just the volume before it goes live, and it's so loud and so like horrible.
Right. I'm on for the second counters to get them in. Why does it do this? I'll
right, I'm gonna stop at 25 seconds. Oh, are you ahead of me?
I'm on 33.
28, 27, 26, 25. Stopped. So we're both in 25.
23, 22, 21.
Yeah, 2 seconds ahead of me. It's fine.
That's fine. Let's get some sound going. Chat, let me know what the sound is like. Hyovar says Hellblade stream before Hellblade 2. That is a very high possibility. I think it's only about 6 hours long. So that is a very, very high chance. So yeah. Good spot, Hyovar. Good shout. Here we go.
I need to do Zelda.
Oh, that's lots of Peggy 18s.
Peggy 18.
That's a real person.
Adultos.
I'm not going to be tricked into that. I'll put captions on to start with and see if they're any good.
Why is my default to Arabic?
Mine did that. Dre's in the chat as well.
Good evening.
Coming to Xbox.
Making games is cool, isn't it? When you think about all the different disciplines needed.
Absolutely. There's Todd Howard, of course. I think he's executive producer or director on the Indiana Jones game. Because he's such a massive fan, he was like, I need to be involved in this.
Well, it's Cinemax, isn't it? So.
Well, there's space for one more there, Richie, I reckon.
There absolutely is. Oh, maybe the 24s.
Here we go then. Straight in there with Avowed. Oh. I do like this cool, like...
This is awesome.
Yeah. Sounds fine, thank you, Hyovar. Here we go.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. I'm so proud to share with you our upcoming fantasy action RPG, Avowed. Avowed is an adventure into the heart of the living lands, a frontier at the edge of the known world, where you must put a stop to a mysterious spiritual plague and discover a secret at the heart of the living lands. At Obsidian, we love creating worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity. And Avowed is no different. We set out to blend the believable and fantastical to give players a world and experience like no other. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's strange. It's one of the most incredible settings in the world of Aora. There's going to be a lot of great secrets to discover, one of which has a really personal connection to you as the player character, and you're going to have a great time getting to know those secrets and leaving your mark on the world. And when it comes to encounters, our combat brings the best of the moment-to-moment fun that comes with action-oriented gameplay and the depth and breadth of choice that you get with an RPG.
Got a wand?
Here to talk more about Avowed's combat is Gabriel Caramba,
part of the magic system.
Director.
Here at Obsidian, our team's overarching goal is to empower you with choice. So we developed a flexible combat system that allows you to quickly swap from spellcasting and sharpshooting to melee combat. We want to give you the freedom to mix and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play from moment to moment, uninterrupted.
It does look so much more polished.
You can combine a variety of weapons,
in my mind,
attacks,
Skyrim
and abilities for tactical advantage.
Oh yeah,
it looks a wide range of enemy types.
It looks so clean.
It's not just hacking and slashing. You're making real-time decisions about when to use your abilities,
looks
powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries, and special attacks. If you choose to approach combat with a one-handed wand, it feels quick and snappy when dealing damage to enemies at mid-range. Using the Tanglefoot ability, you can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or tougher combatants in an intentional and controlled manner. It's important to pay attention to the types of enemies you're dealing with. Some units are extremely defensive, some are brutishly difficult.
I'm coming around.
And others you must make sure you prioritize, or their healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot. To help with the different encounters you will face, we provide customizable loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. That means you can play however you want.
Is it open world? Do we know that
sword and shield and charge into battle.
Sure, I think they've said before it's a sizable RPG, so don't expect like
or even dual-wield wands to feel like a
similar to the Outworlds. That was like a digestible RPG.
You can use your enchanted wand to freeze enemies,
like 30 to 40 hours
offhand weapons power attack,
but don't
shatter them.
I think there's a good place for that as well. Actually,
keep you constantly engaged as
not everything needs to be like a 200-hour behemoth.
And manageability during combat.
Players will have ample choices for how to build and progress their envoy in the world of the living lands as they get to know the game and the story and explore the many diverse regions. Some quests in Avowed will have you make difficult decisions with profound consequences. like this side quest you may encounter in Shatterscarp, the third region you'll explore on your journey through the Living Lands. As you're exploring, you come across the bodies of these fallen soldiers, and as you explore the remains of the battle, it's up to you.
I think this might be what I needed, rather than just like a few trailers where it's just quick cut, high octane action. Just a little bit slower pace, a bit more
training under Captain Ruiki.
Explanation.
Like what's it about?
Keep Thirdborn safe.
Yeah.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here, take my badge.
Take my badge.
Take everyone's.
See, 2 days from retirement.
Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems. We embrace moral nuance
people behind
and
are
gray
actually
areas,
working
trusting
or just
players to make
pausing.
tough decisions in complicated situations.
Man, I wish I had a stand.
Some of them were gaming earlier.
Rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if
I want a
anyone
release
else made it
date.
out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui
That could,
never has
a release date could be make or break, depending. I don't want it now. Summer,
Microsoft
maybe.
that cadence
that I was
of
paranoid,
one every quarter.
that I was a dumb baby.
Stalkers first,
I heard
probably.
it all often and
But it's
loudly.
not here.
Wait,
Then the end of
if
this
you
quarter is
found Sergeant
March.
Asui, why is he not
Yeah,
here?
but Stalker was there like, at the end
What
of last year.
At
I
the
think
end
we'll
of the
get
quest,
one of these
you have a choice. When you
before
confront
June.
Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you,
June
you can
could
hand
work.
over the badges and let him
I
go
just
back
don't want
home.
it February and March because
right.
between Persona
Your
and Final
battle isn't
Fantasy
something
VII
to prepare for,
Rebirth,
is it? It's not my fault.
it's then
No, they
you're chucking another thing in
They should've
the
never
mix, and
camped in
it's
the cave.
going to lose to Final
I'll
Fantasy.
take the badges. I'm going back to
just
third
dropping a
board.
dab, 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 dab,
But
dab,
if you
dab,
confront
dab
him,
in the chat.
if you believe that he
Evening,
fled the
Sarge.
site of the battle as an
There
act
you
of
go. There's a dab
cowardice,
for you.
You have a dab
then
for
he
being a
might
loyal
challenge you
member.
to a fight to reclaim his honor. Either way, when you return to
Dab.
town,
Loyal
Remember-
members get the
you'll see
occasional dab.
consequences of your
99p.
actions and the
Remember dib
choices
dabs.
you made during this quest.
Yeah, they were good.
Creating an immersive experience like
Actually, were they
Avowed
good?
is anchored in the world we build.
Cheap.
Art director Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual style.
From the outset, we knew that we wanted Avowed setting to feel rich, weird,
Stalker 2
and
is
wonderful.
September 5th, so yeah.
Of the
We
day,
found
it is.
inspiration in a wide swath of
Didn't think it
real-world
had a date.
cultures, helping us create a unique RPG experience. By contrasting the vibrant with the dull, or verdant
I like how
spaces
that
with sickly
pool of
ones,
water
we
has
can
like
better
iron
deliver
in it. It's very
complex
rare in a
emotional
game to see water that
experiences
isn't like
for
your
our players.
typical types of water.
The Living Lands is a continent
Stalker
of
2, 5th
untamed
December,
valleys
just confirmed.
with
It's on,
widely
at least on
varied
the Steam
biomes,
page,
from
so
luxuriant
yeah.
forests to volcanic
We probably covered it, you
wastes.
know.
And
We
each
probably
of
did.
those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. All of the regions have a lot of special things associated with them, but I have a deep place in my heart for Shatterscarp.
You know what's got a bit of Morrowind
As
desk
you're
vibes
wandering
with
the
like
wastes
the
of
mushroomy
Shatterscarp,
stuff going on.
you might notice off in the distance a
Yep,
vibrant
all
jewel
good
of
here,
color.
Sarge.
Looks-
Hope you're good
By
too.
transitioning from destitute, muted tones of a wasteland of sand
I do like a
and
good
marching in towards a
variation of
beautiful
landscapes.
oasis, there's the opportunity there
I'm always
for
interested
life,
to see how
for
games like
adventure,
blend between them.
and even a
Like
little
Horizon
danger.
has
Water-
like
the
everything,
water
and somehow
looks-
you blink
We
and
hope
you
you've
just moved on
enjoyed this
to
look
a
at
new
Avowed.
season.
We're thrilled to share more about the game in the coming months, and we can't wait for you
From
to
Gramoval in
explore
the
the
chat as
living
well.
lands when Avowed launches
All is
this
good,
fall.
all is well. Watching some Avowed action. Richie's in. Flintlock, that's the gun. I couldn't think of the name.
I'm definitely more interested than I was. It depends on what else I'm playing,
Spiders.
but it'll be on the list of choices whenever it comes out.
Spiders. Ooh, that's a cool piece of imagery. Nice.
That'd be an awesome tattoo, actually.
We got a window. Autumn for everyone here in the UK or Europe.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, it depends what else comes out. But
What's we going to next? Ara.
It-
Oh, we're going straight to Hellblade. Right, so they're not ending on that, which is good. Do we get a
I
date?
think it's gonna be
Chas,
Indiana
do we
Jones
get a
ends now.
date? Yeah, it has to be.
it's either Indiana
It's
Jones
in
or
the
one more
UK.
thing.
You can tell by the
Good
street
old
sign
hook.
straight away.
And the fact that it's
Hi,
made by
I'm Don
Ninja Theory, who's
Matthews,
based in the
studio
UK.
head here at Ninja
didn't know
Theory
that.
in Cambridge, UK. We're now in the
Cambridge.
final months of development on Senua's Saga
Final
Hellblade 2,
months.
and the team is working hard to bring you an unforgettable journey into Senua's
At
unique
the
world
Game
and
Awards,
her
they said
battle for survival,
2024, right?
where we have once again
Yeah, so if in the
combined
final
high
months,
fidelity
I'm going to
and
guess summer.
immersive presentation with
So
a
this in
shorter,
the summer,
narrative-led
Avowed in the
experience that
autumn.
focuses on the things that
Yeah.
we really care about,
So that means...
and that we hope you care about too.
Ara could drop. They could shadow drop Ara, to be honest.
I don't really count Ara because it's PC only.
Yeah, that's why I say they could just shadow drop it.
So Indiana Jones in the
Senua is
winter,
back with a new quest.
perhaps.
She
Yeah.
wants to stop the Vikings
then
who raided her
something for
village
now.
right at
They
the
got
source
Stalker
in
and
Iceland.
End of Summer
But not just her
as
quest
well.
has changed. Senua herself
But there again,
has
that's
grown
one we
since
know is
the
being
first
pushed back
Hellblade.
for political
She's made
reasons.
peace
So
with
it's
her
like
past and is no
that
longer
might
in
not
such
be in
fear
the
of her
plans of the,
visions
like
and
once a
voices. While
quarter
the Furies
cadence.
are still her constant companions, she
They've got a
encounters new
stealth
people
drop
along the way,
Senua
some of
remastered.
which will value her unique perspective, and
That would be
others
actually
who
a
will
good
reject
move.
it.
Little by little,
Little by
Get people in.
the settlement
I've been listening to a lot of
became my
voices actually.
tribe.
Right, we're
In
gonna
the
see some
game,
solid
Senua
gameplay, come
arrives
on.
in 10th century
Yeah.
Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point,
That's a Laura.
establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top. Senua will face up to giants who have plunged the land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover.
They're the same as the Draugr from God of War.
Senua will make new enemies and also new
Probably,
allies who will come to
And
see her
anything
unique
else is kind
perspective
of
as a
like
beacon of
Nordic
hope.
themed.
And she'll discover along with us how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
Zero gravity.
A sign. Focus.
Senua is a Celtic warrior who experiences psychosis, seeing things that other people don't, hearing voices, and having unique beliefs about the world around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's terrifying.
Players
That
will find
means you have
themselves
to play this
traversing
with
beautiful and
surround sound
hostile
headphones.
environments, seeking
In a
answers
dark
from
room
patterns and
on your own.
signs that
I mean,
Senua
if you
sees
wanna
in
go
her
that
own
way, yeah.
unique way, and
Yeah.
battling through encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
Oh no, pylon. Oh, pylon. Oh, pylon.
On Saga, we've taken everything
That
to
was
the
a thing
next
back in
level.
the day, wasn't it?
With a new motion capture
Wonder.
space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
This is what Microsoft
We
money
spent
buys
a
in
lot of
Ninja
time
Theory.
planning the motion capture shoots, thinking of what events would be good to bring into this fight. Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel. One of our key goals was the ability to actually tell a story throughout it.
The first one didn't have much combat. if I
It
remember.
does feel very different from the first game.
Never
but
played it.
it's
This is
very
why one of the reasons
brutal
why I
and
want to
very
release it, just
invested in
to
it.
I want to
Senua
know
isn't
when
a
to play.
superhero. She's
the
fighting
first
for
one.
survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle.
This is
in
the
every
game
step
I'm
of her
looking forward to
journey.
most from Microsoft because it's
We want the player
the game
to
that to
always
me
feel
looks
they
like
just scraped
the
through, just
finally bridging the
survived
gap
it.
in terms of quality to compare against the Sony first party.
Mel
Yeah.
knows Senua better than anyone, better than I
And it's
do.
third person
Her
story.
instincts
so
are
it's
Yeah,
also
amazing.
in the
leaning
kind
into
of-
that wheelhouse.
She really
It's the
doesn't need
first
much
game
help
I've seen from
me.
Microsoft in a long time
On
where it's like
stage, our main
we're
focus
making a
is
game
storytelling.
that can go head to
So
head
I
with
get
anything
to
Sony
watch
can
the
at
actors and see all the
Sony at its
beautiful
best.
expressions on their faces, and then I have to wait a little while, and then I get to see
about
that all
character,
again
it's about
in
story,
game, in
it's graphically
costume, on
beautiful.
location, everything. It's a great experience.
Reality
a great
versus
process.
gaming's in the
It's
house
Every
as well.
discipline
in
the
it.
studio
motion-
is
the
unified in
use of the
achieving a
motion
peak
cap
level
and
of
stuff as
immersion
well.
to help suspend your disbelief and pull
Look
you
at
into
that,
Senua's
it's
story.
stunning. Like the evening shot.
We were lucky enough to do a few reference gathering trips in Iceland. You have to be
They
there.
all went and got
The sense of
drunk in
scale,
Iceland.
everything is incredible.
I'd like to do that.
And you see
That'd
a
be good.
scene or you see a
Definitely
small
on the
section
bucket
of the
list.
game and you're like, yeah, that works. That's amazing.
Senua experiences reality differently, and a part of this manifests in the voices she hears.
The underscores on the names are really
These
confusing.
voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides
almost feels
a
like
good
it should be a gamer
representation
tag.
of this type of auditory
Yeah,
hallucinations.
well, the previous
As we
person
focus
was
on immersion,
underscore, but then they also
binaural
had a
audio
hyphen in the
is
like a
perfect
double-barreled
for this
surname.
because
So it
through
was like,
headphones,
do we count the hyphen as
you
well, or is that also
surround
not
yourself in a
included?
three-dimensional space. In the first game,
You
we
know
only
they've
like
actually
the
had a
voices
conversation about that,
Senua
don't you?
listens in her head. In this game, through a spatial audio technology and some extra
That
little
was an
things
hour-long
within the
meeting
game,
on one guy's
there is
hyphen.
music that is binaural. Every single
Can we
sound
just ask
has
him if he can just
potential to
remove
be
the
binaural,
hyphen?
So everything is spatialized around you, and it's a very beautiful experience. Music
Oh,
is a
it's
strange
spatial,
language in the
full
sense that it
3D
speaks
spatial
to our
headphones,
emotions fast and deep. It's not only about
I do need
quality,
to buy some new
it's about
headphones at some point.
personality. So when you listen to Hellblade,
I got
you know
some
it's Hellblade.
Razer ones in. I can't remember if it was Black Friday or when it was.
On the music, we are
You're wearing
working
them
with Highlands, which for me is a personal privilege.
The
Because
problem is,
really admire them.
because I wear glasses, I can't have on-ear
We
ones
feel their craft,
because they
their
just
depth,
start
their meaning
hurting
in
your
the
ears.
music. It really connects
But I also don't
with our
really
game
over
and
like noise
elevates it
cancelling
to
and stuff.
Something really special. We are also working
I
with
basically want a
experimental
really good pair of
singers,
what I'm
throat
wearing.
singers and our very own purists. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
Interesting. Like you were saying at the beginning,
Our mission
it's
here at
mad to
Ninja
think how
Theory
much
is to
varied craft and
craft
skill goes
life-changing art
into
with
a video
game-changing
game.
tech. And that's our aim in Senua's Saga.
That's
It's
when
like
you're
a
going to get that kind of
collaborative
panning
not
effect
only
going around when
see
you're
where
playing.
Senua goes
Imagine
next,
if you've got like
to deliver
full-on surround sound
something
speaker
really meaningful
system,
for our players.
like a massive,
My hope is that
massive
they will
TV,
really
just in the
connect
dark
to
room, you can just hear
Senua
the
as a
whispers
character,
going around.
and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character, and they can then understand that person better.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but in a way I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of
twist,
her work,
he's
through every
Senua.
ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are creating this character that grows and grows and grows and grows and keep growing and keep changing. So that makes it real.
I'm so proud of the love, care and passion our team here at Ninja Theory are putting into Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Our hope is to not only create a game that is great to play, but to craft an experience that leaves you thinking and feeling. From our combat gameplay through to
Studio
our
looks
action
pretty
set
swished,
pieces,
doesn't it?
from our
Yeah.
cinematic scenes to our puzzle solving.
Like, look at
Everything
the
is
notes
crafted
board
in
behind them,
service
it's like a
of
black
Senua's
light
journey,
notes board.
a journey that you can embark on May 21st.
May 21st, Richie. Coming to Game Pass, PC. Seems like
Nice.
it's nice. We've got another date, so May 21st. That means we've got 4 months to play the first Hellblade. Yova, you will get your wish. Yeah, Jin, I think the first game's about 6 hours, so... Got it there now.
it's not
So
too
you've got
bad then.
4. I like how they're putting the dates on those. Uh-oh. Unknown user is waiting in the lobby. Square Enix. What are we getting?
You're like 5 seconds ahead of me. It's like, you know.
Oh, sorry.
Is this like a mana game?
They've dragged
No.
and dropped it in. I like this layout. It's dead.
This is good. This is cool.
Dead artistic.
Well done, Xbox. You fucking nailed this. Like, I
Sneaking
love the
in.
styling of it. Don't give me no Square RPG this year, please.
Greetings, Xbox players. My name is Masaru Oyamada.
The mana
Producer
Make-
series.
for the
call it
Mana
2025
series
and just leave me
here
alone.
at Square Enix. 聖剣伝
It's
説
a
ビ
mana
ジョンズ・オ
game,
ブ・
yeah.
マナの情報を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにいち早くお
I
伝
think
え
we
で
already
きる機
knew
会を
about
いただけ
this.
て
Yeah,
大
it's the
変
new
光栄
game.
です
Visions,
コンソ
yeah.
ール
But I'm
ゲームと
guessing
して
it's
は
coming to Game
約
Pass
17
is
年ぶり
the
となる
announcement.
聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作聖剣伝説シリーズは
Having
1991
played
年
Sea of
ファイナル
Stars,
ファンタ
my
ジー
kind
外
of
伝と
mind's
して誕
way
生して
more
以降
open to like all of this
マナ
thing
と
now.
聖剣をめぐって描かれる愛をテーマに
I haven't played any of the mana games. I'm aware of them,
響く
but
楽曲の数々武器の特性を生かして戦うアクション RPG としてこれまでに17作発売
Oh,
され
there's a lot of
長
them
ら
there.
く愛されて
That
き
is
ま
a
した
lot. 17 tiles.
本作は30年以上の歴史あるシリーズの
Was
最
Game
新作
Pass
と
or
なる
PlayStation
これまで
Plus?
培わ
That
れ
a
てきた
bunch of
聖
it
剣
was
伝説
PlayStation
と
Plus
して
that some of the old ones
しっ
just
かり
came
感じられ
to.
るものを目指して鋭意
Yeah,
制作中
the
です
I can't
フ
remember
ィー
which
ルド
two,
で
which
は
two.
自然や精霊とのつながりを感じられる色彩豊かな
Secrets
聖剣伝説の世
and
界を体験してもらえると
the
思い
other
ます
one.
The other one of 17.
Yeah.
シリーズおなじみのモンスターたちも本作に登場しています
Now I'm guessing the older ones were more classic JRPG. This seems like
今
they've
回
got a
これ
modern
ら
take
のお
on
な
it.
じみのモンスターたちを作り出
Genuinely
した
don't know.
聖剣伝説の生みの親である
Just by how far back they go, they're on like
聖剣伝説
NES
ビジョ
and
ンズ・オ
stuff,
ブ・
right?
マナの内容を紹介していきたいと思います
Yeah, but there was always action stuff
Hello,
back then as
I am
well.
Koichi
He's a
from
sharp
Grabs.
looking dude.
I am so happy
Koichi.
to introduce
See the name, the
newest
underscore doesn't
game
work with the
in the
names because it makes
Mana
eyes look like
series
L's
to
at first
Xbox
glance.
初期の頃からシリーズ作品に登場しているモンスターたちは
He's definitely a secret assassin.
私が考案したものですが、中には小学生の頃すでにイメージができてい
With
たもの
soft
もあり
plushy
ます。
toys in his office.
今作では初めはドット絵からスタ
I'm
ート
looking
した
at
モン
the
スターたちを
Secret of Mana launch trailer for when it came to the PS4, and it does look like action rather than turn-based.
デザインの方向性から
Kind of
モデルの
top-down
完成イメージ
isometric
までを
action.
監修する立場でプロジェクトに参加しました。
That is a shroomy.
聖剣伝説ファイナルファンタジー
Now
ガイ
this
デンを
announcement
作ってい
eats
た
into
頃から
another announcement.
自分の頭の中ではモンスターたちは立体的に
Does?
生き生きと動いてこれまで自分が携わった作品では
Do we think
そ
Game
れら
Pass
を
then?
どうやって
More than
当
one?
時の技
Or
術
just
で
this
表
one?
現できるかにこだわって作ってきました
I think you could get the full series, to be honest. I mean, it was announced to PlayStation Plus, so open to that kind of
恐ろ
platform.
しさの部分もしっかりと
I mean, they're all
表
games,
現で
right?
きているの
So
で
just fleshing out
Yeah,
the
that's it.
idea with a couple
モン
of
スターたちの
well
表情に
known
も
Well, I think there's remasters, which is
これ
the
まで
PS4
聖
version.
剣伝説シリーズには空を旅する、海を渡る手助けをしてくれる頼もしい仲間たちがいましたが今作には広大なフィールド探検に欠かせない新たな仲間が登場します陸上を猛スピードで駆け回ってくれるピ
That
ッ
sounds
クル
awesome.
ピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています
新たな仲間を考えるにあた
Jin
っ
in the
ては
chat says
Jin
this
says
one's
今作
very
のマスコットキャラ
Nintendo.
クターにな
It
るくらい
does.
可愛い動
I
物
think
に
the
したい
original
と
ones
いう
might have been on
漠然
Nintendo.
とした思い
Yeah, I
が
think
Don't
they were SNES.
hold me to
Oh,
that, but
they'll
yeah.
remove
そ
them
の
in the
上
chat,
で
yeah.
ヨークシャテリアの
SNES
毛並
classic.
み見た目はアルマジュによく似た仙山港や
I thought it would be a
古代
Yorkshire
エジプト
Terrier
の
crossed
アヌ
with
ビ
an
スの子
armadillo.
供といった
That's
具体
brilliant.
的なイメージが
With
浮かんできて
elements inspired
そ
by
れぞれ特
Anubis.
徴を取り
What
入
a
れながら
combination.
ラブ
Yorkshire
デザインを
Terrier,
書き起こしました
Greek god.
デザイ
Egyptian
ナーに
god.
も
Egyptian
アイデアを
god,
出してもらいながら
Yeah.
足の長さや丸まった時
I'm
の
Get
thinking
your
of-
mythology right,
No, I was
Chris.
thinking
Damn it.
Greek because
見え方も考えながら
when they
調
said
整を
look for
重ねていき
Nintendo, my brain went
ピック
to
ルは
Immortals
誕
Phoenix
生しました
Rising, looking at the landscape.
Yeah.
So I think my brain
Yeah, I
was
see
already on
that.
that. It was already on that like
楽
train
曲
of
面で
thought.
す過去さまざまなコンポーザーが携わられた楽曲
Yeah,
の
I could
雰
see
囲気
this
が感じら
on
れ
the
つつも
Switch.
最
Preferably
新作
Switch
とし
2.
て素晴らしい新たな
This
楽曲
summer,
が生まれました
So I've heard.
BGM でもしっかり聖剣伝説シリーズらしさを感じてもらえると思います過去シリーズの楽曲を手掛けたクリエイターたちが全100曲という大ボリュームの制作に挑んでくれました
Now, unfortunately, because I'm trying to read the
新たな
subtitles, I
試み
keep
としてフィール
having
ド
to
の
pull
探
away
索
from
から
the visuals on
バトル
screen.
までをシームレスに体験できるよう
I'm used to watching anime in Japanese, so
導入しており
you get used to
冒険の没
it.
入感を高めてくれます
I'm
探索中の BGM がバトル
I'm
に
just
入った
listening to
瞬
the
間
music. I think this could be one that ends up on the playlist for when I'm working.
Richie's Ultimate Playlist. Do we have that shared in the Discord? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
shared
it
in the
was.
Discord. I haven't touched it since I shared it, but it's there. It's free for anyone to add stuff to. So it was always intended to be a bit of a community effort.
Yeah, so that's if anyone's got any
今作は
music
アクション
soundtracks from
RPG 聖剣
games,
伝説の
add
ア
them
クシ
to
ョン
our
部分が
Ultimate
強化されていま
Playlist
す
in the Discord.
Yeah.
空中でのアクショ
It's a
ン
cool
がバトル
concept,
の
a
鍵となって
community
おり
playlist of
武
best
器での
soundtracks
攻
of all
撃だけ
time.
でなく魔法での攻撃も可能
Yeah,
にな
because
ってい
I
ます
think we both listen to their game soundtracks when we're at work and stuff.
そして
So
本作ならではの特徴として
having a playlist made by the
聖剣伝説シリ
community
ーズでは
means
おな
that
じ
I've
み
got
の
something
精
to
霊
dip
たちがい
into
ま
when
す
I'm
が
looking for something new.
Sea
そ
of
の力を
Stars,
宿
get
し
that
た
in
武
there,
器を
Richie.
使うと
Super chill
バトル
music.
を手助けしてくれるよう
I
に
think it
な
was
り
Sea
ま
of
す
Stars that inspired me to do it, you know.
Every
精
time
霊に
you
よって
save
は
at
さま
that
ざま
fire
な
pit,
特性の
it
違いがありますので
just
その効果とともに聖剣
I
伝説の
feel
世界らし
like
い
revitalized
不
just
思
by
議な
listening to that
力
little
で
jingle.
爽快なバトルを楽しんでいただけます
I kind of love how much you've fallen in love with Sea of Stars, to be honest. Because it's so unexpected.
ピックルにも注目してほしい
Well,
の
we
です
play different games, right?
聖剣伝説ビジョ
Yeah,
ンズ・オブ・
try
マナを
different genres.
聖剣伝説らしさを感じてもらえる作品になるよう小山田君を中心にチームのみんなが頑張って作ってくれていますのでぜひ発売日を楽しみに待っていてください私自身もプレイするのを の楽しみ
Jim's
にしてい
going to
ま
add
す。
some collectible records from Lies of
聖
P.
剣伝説シリーズとして初めて
Pinocchio on guitar.
Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにお届けする本作
Only
聖
wood
剣伝
instruments
説
though he
ビ
plays.
ジョンズ・オブ・マナ
Yeah.
は今後もさまざまな情報をお届けしていきますのでぜひご期待ください。この夏この忘れられない冒険を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんに
Oh
楽
god,
しん
yeah,
でいた
like
だ
the
ける日
Sky
が
Climbers.
今から待ちきれません。
summer. Doesn't say Game Pass though. Just says coming to Xbox. Interesting. Well, there's that relationship between Japanese studios getting tighter. That's what Phil Spencer said they wanted to do about a year and a half ago now.
And Square Enix is one of the biggies, really. If you think of a Japanese studio, you're probably going straight to Square Enix first, and maybe Sega.
Here we go, Ara. There's something peaceful about a pencil being scribbled.
Yeah.
So this one's right up Rob Street, wasn't it? He said he's a big civilization guy.
Welcome to Oxide Games.
Yeah, he is. He's a big civ. I like them. Rob's much bigger into them than me.
Some of the most beloved strategy games of all time, like Civilization V. We came together to create something new and innovative in a genre we all love. Our History Untold is the game we've dreamt of making.
Ara is an homage to historical gamers, strategy gamers, 4X gamers. It features all the depth and gameplay fans of this genre love, where you'll explore the world, expand your nation, govern your people, and engage with your rivals on the international stage. But it isn't just more of the same. With Ara, we wanted to challenge some of the preconceived notions about the genre, push it forward in a modern, empowering, and truly compelling and approachable
what makes
way.
it different.
Yeah,
for example, we have over 100 instruments on display in the office, which are all things that we purchased in order to add to the soundtrack and expand the game and make it really good.
Get out, Bill.
Hi, Dan.
Close.
That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been an amazing process to see from concept to completion. We started small, building a robust
I can't tell if that was staged or
questioning
not.
our design assumptions.
Oh, they just went with it. Sorry, it's funny. Let's go for it.
Rediscovering what made us fall in love with strategy games in the first place.
The end result is Ara, the historical grand strategy game that presents a living world where you can rule how you want to rule.
This is one of them
chart your
games
own
where you
path to
blink and
becoming
it's
the most
4 in the morning,
prestigious
isn't
nation on the planet.
Yes,
For Ara,
it's
we
very
really
much.
needed
Oh,
deep
just one more
systems with
turn.
outcomes that encourage exploration and give players the power to experiment and make meaningful strategic choices while
Now,
still
when we
having
played
agency over their
Humankind,
play
you were
style.
very much my
We
guide
also wanted to explore
through that
more
game.
different parts of history
And
give players from around the
I would
world
say I'm
the
a
chance
novice
see
when
the
it comes
game
to these
reflect
games, to be
their
honest.
unique
I
perspective,
dabble.
and not just ours.
But I tend to go, okay, I'll
And
start a game
finally,
with
we needed
Civ,
for
I'll
players to
play
feel the impact of
one
their
game,
decisions. They
and then I
needed
won't
to
touch it for like
see
2
their
years.
choices reflected in the game world itself.
Where
not
Rob,
just through
actually, I think
numbers on a menu.
he played
One of
online
the
and stuff
first differences
in the
you'll
past
see when you
against
dive
actual
into
people.
Ara is what we call the living world.
Not just against
It's
the
a
enemy on the
procedurally
easy.
generated alternate Earth, bursting with life, an intuitive, authentic, and immersive space, a blank canvas for players to paint the society of their dreams.
The living world isn't just a map. It reflects the choices players make over the course of the game. They can see everything from the settling of the wilderness to cultural influence on
What's great
architecture
about these
over
style games
time
is you
to the thousands
don't
of
have to
citizens
just go for
living their
build a
lives
biggest
and
army.
reacting to the
Combat, you can do like
We
economy
want players to
victories,
feel like they're
science
truly occupying the world,
victories, like
leading their
cultural
people as they
victories.
thrive and grow.
You
Core
can
to the
literally just
vision of Ara
befriend
is our
everyone.
philosophy of rule how
Like,
you want to rule.
So they can be
And no
quite
feature
zen in that
better
kind. Sometimes I like
exemplifies
playing like a
this than the
passive
prestige
thing.
system.
Like I'll have
Through
an
the
army,
game of
but
Ara,
I'm not going
players will compete
to
with
go on
their
the offensive.
rivals
It's
to
there
build the
purely
most
to defend
influential,
myself.
impressive, and important nation the world has ever known. This is measured by prestige, the player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
The prestige system gives players the chance to decide what kind of leader they want to be. Do they want to pursue great works of arts and culture? Military might? Scientific advancement?
Whoa.
The choice is theirs. In Ara, there are no set victory conditions. Players get to decide what is most important
Mega
to them
Warriors
and
totally
focus and
going to invade,
prioritize
like,
on those
indigenous
goals
tribes.
while still being able
No
to win the
chance.
game.
Personally, when I play
Racism.
Ara, I like to build triumphs. Triumphs are our collection of incredible
I'm looking
monuments and
forward to when the
architectural
spiffing
achievements
Brig
from
gets his
throughout
hands on
human
this game
history.
because I think that
Like the
is
Great Pyramid
a
of
recipe
Giza.
for
They're hard to
hilarity.
build, but worth it, giving huge prestige bonuses and game-changing abilities to the nation that constructs them.
Another aspect of Ara that I'm personally excited about is our crafting system.
The crafting system offers a unique
Egypt.
challenge to the player that they generally
want the
won't see
pyramids,
often
but I
in the
want, like,
4X
an Eye of
genre.
Sauron
Succeeding
top
at balancing,
on it.
I want the
gathering right
pyramids, but I
things,
want to milk
turning
them
into
in
the tools
Swansea.
that you need, and then finally getting to the outcome or reward
Don't
of
know why
something like
Swansea,
an
but-
important improvement or triumph. Just changes the challenge that exists in Ara compared to other 4X games.
crafting plays out in Aura at a national scale, with players honing and combining the natural resources they harvest into all manner of goods and components. Those are the foundation for everything, from international trade to improving their cities and citizens' lives, and even manufacturing the weapons necessary to draft military units.
I feel like
the crafting
conveying this
system
to
in
a
Aura
console
encourages thoughtful, advanced
version
planning.
would be
It rewards
a tough
players
ask.
who can see the strategic outcome of all their collective decisions,
it's
and not
turn-based.
just the individual ones.
I'm proud
So,
of the work that's gone into our simultaneous
You don't have
play
to have that
system.
necessary speed
Many
of the input.
strategy games have players alternate
So the
taking
complexity
turns
is
and reacting
once
to
you
their
kind of
opponent's
figure out a
moves.
control scheme
In
and like
Aura, all
easy
players'
access to the
actions
menus
are
and
resolved
stuff.
at the same time.
Because
This
other
rewards
games
players'
like this
ability
have
to
made
navigate
I mean,
uncertainty,
Humankind was
to predict and
control, wasn't it?
strategically
'Cause
plan
Humankind
for
did, yeah.
a variety of scenarios in the moment. This
But yeah,
system
you can
makes
see
Aura
why it's
just
a
feel more
PC
real.
first, and
In a
then
typical
once it's out, we'll
strategy
start
game,
thinking
once
about
your turn is finished, you have to wait for a
how.
long time. With
Like City
simultaneous
Skylines
turns, generally
as
speaking,
well.
those times are very low.
Yeah.
You get to keep playing the game and stay engaged rather than having those periods
And
of
even
downtime
then,
where you're not
I
doing
don't think
anything.
it'd ever be as
It's
good
not
as with
easy
mouse and
sifting
keyboard.
through
Just the
all
nature of the
history
game.
and picking what to include. For
Oh, is that
Aura, we
the
wanted to
Sagrada
offer a fresh
Familia?
perspective. So we looked at cultures and societies throughout the millennia with the
This
broadest
is
lens
where
possible.
Game Pass Ultra
Where this
comes in.
approach really shines is in our leaders. Leaders are so often seen as military personnel or prominent government figures, but leaders come in so many different forms. They're thought leaders, scientific and cultural prodigies, and many more.
Gandhi dropping nukes on
Each
people.
leader in Aura has a number of special abilities determined
That's one
by
of the
their
memes from
personality
Civ where Gandhi just
as
ends
well
up
as a
going to war
powerful
with
and unique
everyone.
leader
I mean,
trait
everyone's got their breaking
informed
point,
by their
Richie.
contributions to world history.
Sarge is the
With a
apparently
diverse
Swansea.
global roster, we know players will find leaders that they will want to play. And even a few that may surprise them with how fun it is when those leaders are handed
Yeah, I
the
think
reins of power.
there's probably is people playing Humankind, but the problem is
For us
it
at
wasn't as good as
Oxide,
Civ.
Player feedback is the only way
And
to
that's
really
always
understand
going
what
to
you're
be
making.
a death
It
knell for
gives
this
us
sort of
that
game.
priceless
If you're too close to
perspective
Civ
from
but
the
not as
people we're
good,
making Aura for. You.
where this being on
Building
Game
the
Pass
game
gives it that
alongside real
advantage.
players has given us that critical player feedback. In the end, we believe this makes for a deeper connection between the players and the game.
One of my favorite examples is when we first introduced the concept of dangerous wildlife to the game. It turns out, in our first iteration, it was maybe a little bit too aggressive or disruptive. We knew we should probably make a change when one of our insiders made a forum post that was just,
Cougars, cougars.
Cougars, I hate cougars!
"Someone get these feline demons away from me." I'm happy to report, based on more recent feedback, that I think we ended up in a good place with the overall threat level of mountain
Mech
lions to a
cougars.
player's citizenry.
Wild
It's
mech
been years of
cougars.
hard work to bring you a strategy experience like no other. And we're so excited that we can finally see the finish
That's
line.
strut.
We can't wait for players to get their hands on the game later this year.
But the launch of Aura is only the beginning. We are going to maintain our insider program after the release date and continue to listen to players and support the game into the future.
On behalf of everyone at Oxide Games, thank you for joining us today. We
see
can't
you.
wait for you to play Aura and to create your own history.
If it'd been Game Pass, I could see this being a good platform to build on.
The fall release. Autumn. Do Europeans say autumn as well?
I mean, I'd probably in different languages, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, it's the last one, Richie. Here we go. 10 odd minutes left. Give him a hell, Indiana Jones.
Here we go.
That's what I've been waiting
Some
for.
whip action.
Hej och välkommen till Uppsala,
Stunning
Sverige,
graphics.
här hos Machine Games. We are really excited to finally be able to share our work on Indiana Jones. Since the first film came out,
Come on, Jack.
Indiana Jones
Do
has
us right.
always represented the ultimate adventure. Even today, it's one of the most iconic franchises in
Is it
pop
going to
culture.
mention Crystal Skull and
In
that'll
this
just
game,
no.
you aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones. You will see through his eyes and experience a journey that we hope lives up to the proud legacy of Indiana Jones. When Todd Howard first told us about his vision for the game, we knew we would be a very good fit to help bring it to life.
I've wanted to make an Indiana Jones game forever. I'd had this idea for what it would be like and
Like
the
15 odd
story,
years ago, I
what
think he
Indy
had
was
his
going
original idea.
after, what period of his life it
problem
was
with
in,
with
what
Howard
kind of
is
arc
it's
he was going
always
to
for,
have.
I mean,
And as
the Elder
years went
Scrolls
on, I
games
thought,
and the Fallout
who would be,
games,
like, the
and
best
actually
studio in the world
Starfield,
to make this,
all
and
mainly
it was my
first
friends
person,
at
but
Machine
can be
Games.
played third person.
I can remember
but it's
pitching
not.
Lucasfilm on
It's
the game
definitely
and being,
not
you know,
how
a
it's
little bit
intended.
nervous because look, it's, you know, Indiana Jones, and their response was just overwhelmingly positive, and just that excitement has bled through the whole project, and they've just been so trusting and supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've been a fan of this my whole life, and I couldn't be more excited to show you what the team here has been up to.
It's not a deal breaker for me, though.
At the new Indiana Jones game.
I'll still play it, but it's not what I want. Here we go.
Let me tell you what you are missing.
It was right, Todd.
Nazis.
While you were playing your pointless game,
kind of looks like Harrison Ford's head from the back.
You're wondering if maybe you should
have got his likeness.
Built yourself a life of meaning.
That is the biggest win if they get his likeness for me.
Yeah. They're teasing right now.
They are teasing.
So, oh no.
And if they've got his likeness, just go third person, Todd. Don't do it to me. Come on. Yes! Fuck yeah. Richie's 2-3 second delay.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got Harrison Ford. Holy shit. Maybe not his voice. Come on, third person. Ah, the hands.
History.
Let's see the voice.
Just different ways to interpret the past.
Someone doing Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs.
Or is it Harrison Ford?
Scattered and buried.
It's very good at
just waiting.
I don't know, does it feel quite right?
You can't just
I don't know.
away from your
Oh!
Indiana.
Why can't I remember his name?
Watch me.
I need to watch these films again.
It's first person. But it looks awesome.
Throughout history,
again, I can see it being switchable.
Mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance.
That doesn't sound like Harrison Ford. That sounds more like Troy Baker.
Through these ancient sites around the globe.
It could be Troy Baker doing Harrison Ford.
There's the circle. I mean, it looks awesome. Whipping Nazis.
Hungry Removal says could have used AI. It's entirely possible they could have got someone like Troy Baker to do it, but then use an AI filter
It ain't a walk in the park.
to get it closer.
Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I
can't believe it looks like him. That's the seal of legitimacy for me. I mean, even though the movies have gone downhill since the originals, like it's still one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Patron of the fallen angels.
That's Troy Baker.
Protector of the...
Like, that just sounds like Troy Baker.
It's gotta be, yeah.
The Great Circle.
The Great Circle, there you go.
The big oblong.
Brody, Marcus Brody's this
You have any
guy
idea
we
how
saw,
old that
like,
was?
5 minutes ago. When's it coming?
Indiana Jones is such an iconic character, and he means so much to so many people. Everyone here at the studio has their own indie stories and memories. Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years. He's a brilliant archaeologist, he's a charismatic everyman,
She's
he's
describing him like
passionate
she knows
and
him in
determined.
real life.
And for us, he's synonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana
Sounds like
Jones
she's in love with
story
him.
to a modern gaming audience. Our game is all about putting
Crotch
you
scan.
in Indy's shoes, letting you see and feel what he sees and feels. For us at Machine Games, we do that best through first person. It's the ideal perspective
So what do you do in
to
the
bring
game,
you into
Sid?
the
I
rich,
scan the crotches.
exciting and interactive world we've built. We believe that being up close and personal to the adventure is key, making each action
It's such
feel
cool
like your own.
technology though to kind of just go, right, well, here's the outfit, we're
Whether
just going to
it's
scan it
cracking
and
a
that's
whip,
going to kind of give us the wireframe of a
solving
3D
puzzles
model
in
for us to
ancient
start building on.
temples, or seeing your knuckles go bloody in a fistfight. All of these moments are much more intense in first person. But we still want you to have those moments.
Right.
Seeing his iconic
first and
silhouette
third?
with the hat, and the whip,
This is what I'm
and
thinking,
so for
because
things like
with Todd Howard's
cutscenes and
attachment,
environmental
that's how pretty much
traversal,
every single one of
we
his
pull the
games has
camera
been.
back for a
there we
third-person
go.
view. Indiana Jones and the Great
Right, okay,
Circle
so where it
is
takes
set
place.
between Raiders of the Lost Ark and
Although
The Last
maybe if
Crusade.
context, things.
When our game begins, Indiana is working at Marshall College.
And traversal goes into third.
He wakes up in the middle of the night to the sounds of a break-in and rushes to confront the thief in the college museum. The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular relic was stolen, and discovers that things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling at the strings of a mystery, and it all unravels until he has no choice but to see it through to the end, whatever the end may be.
This is what I love about games, though. They don't age. The character doesn't age because he's animated. It's like we could just get now a trilogy of Indiana Jones games that tell better stories than the movies have been able to.
We always talk about how clever Indiana Jones is. That had
one of the things I love about games and story
when we were thinking about the type of game we were making.
Is you're not as bound by the 2 to 3 hour length of a movie. You can have it a bit enclosed, but also be a 20-hour thing.
We can make is the
but
one
without having the usual TV schedule where you kind of have to have these peaks and troughs every single episode.
Sure, there will be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more fun, and to be honest, a more genuine indie experience by finding more clever ways to solve a problem.
We always want to be offering more solutions, whether it's trying a different path through the environment to get around enemies, observing enemy patrols and using them to your advantage, or using the tools at your disposal, like the whip.
It's an amazing global adventure, with action propelling you through your journey.
We have these really diverse environments for you to explore. Indy's journey will take him to the forgotten temples of Sukhothai, the pyramids of Egypt,
question
the snow-peaked Himalayas,
5 years time,
and
it's going to hypothetically
we
new
look
Indiana
carefully
Jones
at each
movie gets
location
announced
and the time period the game is
without
set
Harrison
in,
Ford,
and we're
who's
trying to
taking the
make
lead
it as
role.
authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game,
and
we also had the goal of making it feel like a true cinematic Indiana
I did
Jones
want Chris Pratt for the
adventure.
Uncharted movie for the longest of times.
One of the biggest ways to do that is with the music.
Do they even continue with
John Williams is the original
they
composer for the indie films, and we're really lucky to have found
We've
Gordie
got the
Howe,
games now, so
a composer who's been able to capture Williams' essence.
Could
with his
continue
score
the
for Great
franchise
Circle.
without Indiana Jones and have another character take the reins. I haven't seen the recent films.
We also take a very movie-like approach to things like cinematics. We're very physical with our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it seems
Things
like
this
everything's
help
been
us bridge the gap
mid to late
between
years so
making a
far.
game and making a movie.
What would you do if it went out now?
And of course, our characters do a lot to help bring the world to life as well. Next to
that Troy
Indy,
Baker
Gina
being
is our
fun
other main
around?
protagonist. Where Indy is pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery.
Gina is an investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She's been tracking a lead for some time, and now she's found an ally in this determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
I think we could see it by the end of the year. They've been working on it for a long
We
time.
always love our villains. I
Yeah.
think we might have found our favorite one yet in Emmerich Voss. He's this intensely psychological man. He's obsessed with the human mind
He's got
and
those round
manipulating
Nazi
it.
glasses.
He's highly intelligent
Not that everyone wears
and the
round lenses
perfect
as
for
Nazi.
it.
Harry Potter also wears
They're
them.
both
Just
brilliant
saying.
people, compelled by their passions
bit
and
of Nazi.
obsessions, but driven down wildly different roads.
He creeps up on you and gets under your skin like he gets under in the skin. It's captivating.
That facial capture is brilliant.
In the sense of Africa.
One of our mottos for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is adventure first. But in every indie adventure, there are always those moments where he finds himself in the action.
Lee's late,
That's
but
been
he
one of
stepped
those
into one of
balancing
the
acts for
best.
us, and we've ended up
Yeah.
with this sort of hybrid experience that mixes melee combat, stealth, and gunplay.
How you approach any given situation is up to you. You may choose to sneak around an enemy patrol, or maybe you'll just pick up a shovel and whack them on the back of their head.
Punch his helmet right
And
off.
when you can't use your wits, you got Indy's most iconic tool. Just like you see in the movies, one of our goals has been to make the whip as fun and multi-purposed as possible. We want it integrated into every aspect of the game.
You can use it as a traversal
Keep seeing
tool
glimpses
to
of
make
the
your way
mocap
around
guy.
the environment.
Can't see if it's Troy Baker or not yet.
You can use it as a distraction.
Imagine just walking
Some
around
of the stunts that might not be done by Troy Baker.
Yeah. Everything you'd expect from Indie Sweep, and hopefully a little bit more. Puzzles are a key feature in our game. The spirit of discovery is so important to Indiana Jones. Obviously, there are a handful of puzzles on the main path, but a lot of the puzzles are optional and are just there for the players who want to experience them.
It's first for the gameplay.
Epic traps,
when you do things like
small secrets, and hidden puzzles that blend right in with their surroundings.
One thing I love about our game is the level of interactivity that we have. We have this world of mystery where anything could potentially hide a secret.
I wouldn't be
The more you look,
I wouldn't be
the more
surprised
you'll
if like
discover.
something like Skyrim is a toggle.
I mean,
we have absolute hero and Sarge in the chat.
So I'll take that likeness over.
You've paid the money for it. You're gonna use it. Absolute hero and Sarge in the chat gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations.
I want to thank you all.
Congratulations,
for
everyone who just got
joining
membership.
us for our big reveal of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Ansel Brahim
Machine Games is known for creating these roller coaster experiences with huge set pieces, surprising twists, and immersive narratives. It's exciting for us that we have been able to stay so true to the Indiana Jones franchise and create such an authentic experience while still being able to showcase what makes us
but I'll get over it by the time it comes out.
We are making a game for everyone, whether you are very familiar with the franchise.
It's just
or
nice
not.
to know.
Because at the heart of Indiana Jones is an incredible adventure, and I think that's something everyone wants to be part of. I'm also very excited to announce that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be coming later this year.
Yes!
And we cannot wait to share more soon.
Have you seen Todd Howard stealing the idol behind him there?
Yeah, literally as you mentioned, there's some pop up.
Later this year? That's our
that's
winter, right?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Copyright strike for the music. Look at that.
I hope not.
2024. Game Pass as well. Nice. Nice.
We're dining good this year, Xbox fans.
We are. Right, I'm going to go play the Emperor's Tomb and the Staff of Kings now on PlayStation 2. Unless they've got anything more for us. Oh, was that an extra? Oh, it's a trailer file at the end. I love that layout. It's so cool.
I think it's really good.
I was like, oh, is that one more thing? No, it's a sizzle reel to round out.
So, overall thoughts, Chris?
Is it
animals,
children, and game developers?
So yeah, so what have we seen? Senua's Saga, May 21st. We got a date. Looks fantastic. Looks gorgeous, and it's coming quite soon. Ara coming in autumn later this year. Got a deeper dive into that. Looks like Civ, but with a twist. They said. Still couldn't really get my head around what the twist was, but saw that. Avowed coming autumn this year as well. So that's a lot of content coming this year. You pretty much sold on Avowed after that showing.
Yeah, it looks good.
And then finally, Indiana Jones coming later this year with Harrison Ford's likeness. And a little surprise there from Visions of Mana. Not coming to Game Pass, so it's kind of the only odd one out of the whole thing, but...
Not confirmed yet. It's possible that we get confirmation later down the line.
But yeah, overall then, that's a good look at our journey into 2024. Hjova in the chat asks, how are you feeling about the developer direct format then?
The overall format, I think it's fantastic. It's not a massive 2-hour behemoth marathon, and here's some great looking titles. We're actually going to give them a bit of time to breathe, talk about them, show you some stuff, and I'm pretty much sold on every single one of these games. Maybe less Visions of Mana, but that's just because I haven't played any of the others, and I'd rather play the others first.
Oh, well, you've got a few to go back to and figure out. Yeah, same. I think the format's fantastic. I love the presentation of it all. The kind of squiggles on a chalkboard really, really works. It ties in quite nicely with it all. Let's go back a little bit and just let some video footage play for the benefit of everyone watching along at home. Play. And I quite like it.
Like games like Avowed, where I did feel like all we've ever seen is a few trailers, like quite short, snappy, and just when it's just doing loads of cuts. I think that's a game at least for me. I just needed to see a bit more, and tell me what the game, what the game is, rather than just like this looks like Skyrim with the like an updated visual style and the saturation turned up.
Yeah, same. I thought that.
But when it starts showing the combat and stuff, it's like, oh right, I see how it looks like there's some cool spells and stuff in there.
You get it.
Obviously got, yeah, I think it looks good.
Just going to try and go back for you so there's some context for what you're talking about. Yeah, Avowed was one that we said on this week's podcast. The GamerGuild Podcast, by the way. Anyone who's watching along at home who's not checked it out yet, every Monday here on the channel, me, Richie, and Rob go live, rounding up all the week's news, having a conversation about it, and of course the developer direct information will be in there. We will break it down here on YouTube and also up there on podcast platforms in those digital clouds on your preference of choice. But yeah, I thought Avowed did a good showing. It really gave us a good insight into maybe the mechanics of how the world works, the combat styles, and I think more than anything just showed us how beautiful and colourful it is, which I think I said to you so far through it. In my head, it looks so much better than what I perceive Skyrim to look like, and I know a lot of people that's what it gets compared to.
I think as well, this is what I mean. Like, when it's not just fast cuts, it can linger on some of the details a bit, so you can take in a bit more about the quality. I always think water is one of the things when I see a trailer and I'm looking for visual details. Water is one of the things I always go to, because water I think is one of the hardest things to nail, and I think it looked beautiful. And then you look at things like the foliage and stuff, and then the character models and all that, and just
it's a good one. It's coming to Game Pass.
I think it looks really good.
Yep, I agree. Hellblade, we've got a date for Hellblade. What are your thoughts on Hellblade now? It's coming very, very soon, coming this May.
As I said earlier in the show, I think Hellblade is one of them in terms of a third-party story-driven action game that can go toe-to-toe with the best Sony are offering. And that is huge praise, I think.
Yeah,
for that game.
We said
Microsoft that game could be.
Need it as well, don't they? They need to kind of like start to compete with the games that are winning so well for PlayStation. Lee in the chat says, I just want a new Gears game. I think a lot of people do, Lee, but the great thing with this being right at the beginning of the year is it kind of sets up for an Xbox showcase in the summer. And I think if you're looking for a new Gears game, I think that's the tentpole tile they would maybe save. Get these out the way for 2024, and then in the summer look ahead to beyond this year. That's when I think you start to see maybe some of the bigger hitters coming out as well. So I think Gears is if it is in the works, which I'm pretty sure it is probably a shoo-in for a summer announcement, if you ask me. Along with inevitably the next Call of Duty now, we've got to remember all that comes
depending on the timeline, because you hear the occasional rumor about like a Halo game, so maybe like I think at least one either Gears or Halo we'll hear about in the summer.
I don't think we're going to see Halo for a while.
You reckon?
We've just announced the Battle Royale's been canned, so I think Halo's getting a whole rework, so I don't think we have to worry about that one. But yeah, I think Gears 6 could be a shoe-in. Jin in the chat says, recently played the Outer Worlds, really like the hub world design and the storytelling. Yeah, which again, back to Obsidian. We know Outer Worlds 2 is in development also, so it's probably going to follow up after the back of Avowed. And that got, again, we were saying during the presentation, praise for being a shorter RPG.
Yeah,
it's not going to drain your entire life to finish it and get through it. It actually kind of treats it with a bit more respect. So Outer Worlds 2, Outer Worlds 1, I think great shout. And again, back to what Avowed could be a really good RPG, but that one that's not asking for you to commit your life to it, which I think for us, and I know a lot of our audience, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not against a big, massive. I've just platinum Final Fantasy 16, so I'm clearly not against a massive 100-hour experience. But it is nice to sometimes have an RPG that is just, it's going to be 30, 40 hours, and that's your lot.
Get in and get out. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And then I guess overall the show was great. I think Xbox that's two for two now. I think last year's developer direct was fantastic. The length, the format. I mean, we love the Game Awards, but no adverts is very refreshing to just jump from scene to scene, seeing the developers, seeing their passion for their games and their craft and their skill, and seeing how lush all the studios are. The studios look fantastic.
Yeah, and sometimes with Game Awards and Opening Night Live, as much as they are fun experiences, there's a lot that just get you wake up next day and go, I can't even remember half the stuff I watched because there's just so much packed in and it moves so quick. Where this, giving the games time to breathe, really showcases each game and go, this is why you should be interested in this game.
Absolutely.
Which is Yeah, what I like to see.
That's what you want. We've got a super chat just dropped from Lawrence van der Sar as well, dropping €5 in there. Thank you, Lawrence. He's got to go, but he said, see you very much. We'll see you on the flip side. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much for a super chat. And thank you again to all the members who've tuned in for this live stream. We do enjoy doing these watch-alongs. Hopefully, Lee in the chat says we'll now just need a state of play from Sony, which has been rumoured since last September. So hopefully we will see that in the imminent future. The rumour at the moment is February. And we're also expecting Nintendo Direct in February. So we could get like a double hit. We get the Developer Direct back end of January, go into February, get some PlayStation news, see what Naughty Dog are up to maybe, see what the Ghost of Tsushima team are up to or at Sucker Punch. And then we follow that up with maybe back end of February, early March with a Nintendo Switch 2 announcement coming later on this year. Boom, 2024, lining up to be a fantastic year. Could you imagine? But Richie, I think that pretty much rounds out our show this week for Developer Direct. We'll be back next Thursday with our probably final playthrough of Halo 2. We're working our way through the Halo series.
Feels that way.
We're about, 5 hours in, I would say, now to the campaign. I think it runs for about 8 or a little bit more. So we'll get into finishing that next Thursday. So do join us, do tune in. If you haven't watched them already, go back. There's several hours of me and Richie checking the co-op campaign out for the first time ever, using the power of Xbox Cloud Gaming and Game Pass here on the channel. And as I mentioned, check out the podcast, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazz. But other than that, have a great weekend, anyone. We'll see you on the other side. And join us in the Discord if you want to keep the chat going. Take care. My name's been Chris.
I've been Richie.
We've been watching Xbox's Developer Direct. See you soon.